For decades, we've all operated under a simple rule in technology. Things get faster, better, and cheaper every single year. Well, that law is fundamentally changing, and it's being rewritten by one company at the very heart of it all, TSMC. Let's break down what this really means.
It all starts with this number, $30,000. That's the rumored price for just one of TSMC's next-generation semiconductor wafers. And look, this isn't just a small price bump. We're talking about a major economic turning point for the entire tech industry.
So why is that number such a huge deal? Because for the first time, it breaks a trend we've relied on for 50 years, which you might know as Moore's Law. See, historically, as we made transistors smaller, the cost for each one went down. Now, that's flipping. The cost is actually going up. The era of predictably cheaper computing, it's over.
So, what's really driving this? What's it going to mean for the phone in your pocket or the computer on your desk? And where do we go from here? We're going to cover all of that right now.
Okay, to really get to the bottom of this, we first need to talk about the main player here, and the new tech that's causing all this stir.
So this is TSMC, the Taiwan semiconductor manufacturing company. They are, and this is no exaggeration, the most important chip maker on the planet. They don't design their own chips. They build them for everybody else. We're talking about the brains inside products from Apple, NVIDIA, AMD, you name it.
And when I say they're important, I mean they dominate. By next year, TSMC is on track to control over 70% of the entire chip foundry market. When you have that kind of lead, you get to set the prices.
And what is this 2nm tech? Well, in simple terms, it's the next big leap forward. It lets you pack way more, way smaller transistors onto a single chip, and the result is a huge performance boost. Either 10 to 15% more speed or 20 to 30% more power efficiency. This is the tech that's going to power the next generation of everything.
So, why the massive price jump? It really boils down to three powerful forces that are all hitting at the same time.
First up, the AI boom. It has created this absolutely insane, unprecedented demand for the most powerful chips. The world wants more of these things than anyone can possibly make, and pretty much every company in AI is knocking on TSMC's door.
And you can see who's at the front of the line. Apple, TSMC's biggest customer, has reportedly already bought up more than half of the entire initial run of these 2nm chips. That leaves giants like NVIDIA and everyone else fighting for the scraps.
The demand is just so intense. According to reports, TSMC's entire 2nm production line is already sold out, completely booked all the way through the end of 2026. That creates a massive supply crunch for the whole industry.
The second driver here is the cost of going global. Because of all the geopolitical pressure, TSMC is building these incredibly expensive new factories, or fabs, in places like the US, Japan, and Germany to diversify its supply chain.
And this really shows you the challenge. Building these fabs outside of Taiwan is a smart move strategically, but it costs a fortune. It's kind of like opening a restaurant in a new country. You've got different costs for labor, materials, you name it. For instance, making chips at the new Arizona fab costs up to 30% more than it does back home.
And our third key point kind of brings it all together. This isn't just a simple price increase. It's a fundamental shift in the whole economic model of making chips. You've got soaring R&D costs, these new expensive fabs, and just unstoppable demand. It's a perfect storm.
So here's where the rubber meets the road. The current 3nm wafers cost around $20,000. The jump to 2nm could push that to $30,000 or more. We're talking a potential increase of over 50%. Even if you take the lower estimates of a 10 to 20% premium, the direction is crystal clear. Prices are going up.
Okay, so foundry prices are going through the roof. But what does that actually mean for companies, and more importantly, what does it mean for us?
This quote from an analyst at Omdia really says it all. It's pretty simple, right? When the most fundamental building block of technology gets more expensive, everything built with it gets more expensive too.
So where are we going to feel this? Well, you can expect to see higher price tags on the next generation of premium gear. That means high-end smartphones, those powerful GPUs for AI and gaming, new laptops and PCs, and even the advanced tech that's going into our cars.
Now, it's really important to get this. This is not a one-time price shock. Everything points to this being the start of a trend that's going to last for years.
You can see how this is going to unfold right here.
TSMC starts pumping out 2nm chips in late 2025. The first price hikes will hit the market in 2026, and they're already planning their next generation of tech for late 2026. In fact, some reports say TSMC plans on raising prices for 4 years in a row. This is the new normal.
Okay, we've gone through a lot here, so let's just boil it all down to the 3 most important things you need to take away from this.
First, the long era of getting more computing power for less money is over. The cost per transistor is officially on the rise. Second, the 2 big reasons are the explosive demand for AI chips and the massive cost of building new fabs around the world. And third, the direct result for all of us is that the next wave of high-tech gadgets is almost certainly going to be more expensive.
And all of this leaves us with a really big question for the future. As the most advanced technology moves from being a simple product to a premium, high-cost service, who is actually going to be able to afford the cutting edge of innovation? And what does that mean for the rest of us?